This is actually a very short introduction. I want to move you into a handwriting sample. I think these interviews get better and better, quite frankly, and the people get more interesting. And this person's a different. The handwriting sample we're going to analyze is named Franklin Ruehl. It's Franklin Ruehl. And I'd like to focus your attention on page 82 of your manual. 82. You've got his printing and semi-cursive chicken scratch. And on a scale of 1 to 10, describe your self-esteem. Is his career? Do you feel he's intelligent? And number 3, here's a question that's completely out of left field. And if you weren't here for 3 days, you may think I'm crazy to even ask it, but I just thought I would throw it in to see. Do you think he'd be inclined to believe in UFOs and conspiracy theories? That's a fun question. It's just about belief system. Belief systems are very difficult to pinpoint in a personality system, and we have a similar handwriting samples from India or Israel and all different religions, but just for fun, see if you think he would be open to that sort of ideas. What's his biggest defense mechanisms? How would it affect his professional career? Defense mechanisms. Is he mad genius, or is he crazy, or is he a box of rocks? Is he a linear thinker, cumulative thinker, or maybe a bit chaotic? Describe his relationship with women. Is Franklin a Casanova? I mean, really. So, is Franklin a sexy guy, or is he one of those nerdy kids? Number 9, is he a nerdy kid? Is he a nerdy adult? What do you think his level of integrity and honesty? Is he going to tell it like it is? Is he honest? And then do you think he has determination and success traits? I think one thing especially this seminar, I think you've had a very good dose of success traits and what makes people succeed and what fears hold them back, which I think is incredibly important data if you're going to be able to help people. Those are 2 key pieces of information that I don't think are emphasized in other courses or other books in the market. So if you walk away with those 2 pieces of information, fears and then success, you've done a huge favor to people you talk with. So take 15 minutes and please rotate groups. I'm really encouraging you to switch around a little bit, and then we'll come back and talk about Franklin Ruehl.
What question are you guys going to answer?
What was his biggest defense mechanisms, and how would it affect his professional career? We saw a lot of stubbornness, and all the T's and the D's. Sorry. A lot of the T's and the D's, a lot of argumentative, a lot of slashes, were a lot of frustration. So I think he would have a very difficult time dealing with people.
Okay, awesome.
And also we saw the closed-mindedness too. So he wouldn't be open to other people's ideas. And thoughts.
Okay.
We thought he was the nutty professor.
Which question are you answering?
Let's go for mad genius or crazy. Yeah. Okay, we thought he was the nutty professor because even though it didn't show in his M's, they actually were at the end well formed. So it looks like he didn't have an inability to make them. It looked like he was just in a hurry with chaotic thinking. He has lots of jagged marks elsewhere, which indicates analytical thinking, and his L's are much higher than all the rest of his capital letters. So we decided not only did he believe in aliens, he probably invented flubber, he can't find his shoes, and if you tell him that flubber and aliens don't exist, that he will argue you until you cry. Because he has a lot of argumentative nature and a lot of stubbornness. And he has no openness, just exactly like you said, so it doesn't matter what you say, you're wrong. But we also thought he might be interesting to talk to because there's no meanness there. There's just a little bit of nuts. And we thought he'd be fun to talk to, but hard to live with.
5 is, would you describe him as arrogant, open-minded, stubborn, or full of self-conceit? Arrogant, yes, he has very high T's and D's. And I think along with arrogance and his argumentative nature and his stubborn nature, that even though we can't see the primary trait of self-deceit with the leftward loop in the O, I think that he is probably fairly self-deceived because he has a hard time seeing when he is wrong because he just won't admit it. So I would say yes, self-deceived because of those other traits. Open-minded not so much. But I do think he'd be interesting to talk to.
We decided to tackle number 3. Dee, 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 dee. Whether he believes in UFOs or whether he believes in Nirvana or whatever, we're not sure. But there's a capability there. First, the very thin imagination loops in the upper, in the L's, and then the point at the top, which means he's always inquisitive about things, wondering about things, thinking about new things. His mental ability is, what you said, is chaotic, but it's also not well formed. Notice the M's are just kind of laying there like a worm. He's not real in depth at all. And also his name, where it starts at the very beginning. So he's already starting way up here in the pie in the sky. So there is a capability of it's either UFOs or it could be some real strong religion or some real strong beliefs.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, so let's meet Mr. Franklin Ruehl.
Hi, my name is Bart Baggett, and welcome to Bart Baggett Reveals. Now, this is the show where I search the world for the world's most interesting people, and I have found one today. My special guest today is Dr. Franklin Ruehl. Welcome to the show.
It's a high honor to be here, Bart.
A high honor?
Yes.
No, I'm the one honored. You have a reputation of being a fantastically analytical, scientific UFO believer. Is that fair?
That's absolutely true.
Is it UFO fan, UFO advocate? What
I
category?
say UFO advocate. I try to present the scientific evidence for UFOs and ETs. I do this on my cable show, in my writings, and my lectures.
Now, you don't live in a trailer in Arkansas and drink Mad Dog 2020.
No,
You're
I
a
do not.
scientist.
That's right.
You have a PhD in physics, is that correct?
That's correct.
Now, for those that don't know what, is it nuclear physics?
Nuclear physics.
You know, we had presidents that can't say the word nuclear.
I know.
Well, what is nuclear physics and how does it relate to UFOs?
Well, I just say that in general, I try to bring the scientific approach to the idea that extraterrestrial life might exist, and therefore this would allow us to believe in UFOs. So first of all, I try to point out that we have, for instance, the statistical evidence. 400 billion stars in our own Milky Galaxy alone. That's one galaxy among approximately 100 billion other galaxies. So we're talking about possibly 4 trillion planets in one galaxy, 400 billion trillion to start with.
Franklin, Earthlings are arrogant.
Yes.
We think we're the only ones on the planet, if not the only ones in this room.
Right, and I find this was cited. I call it, say that they are geo-chauvinistic, that they believe our planet is the only inhabited planet. And that's one reason I got into this, because I lecture at many different scientific organizations, and I'm surprised at the narrow-mindedness of the scientists, that they don't seem to want to believe, even open their minds to the possibility that ETs could exist elsewhere, including intelligent beings.
Now, let me ask you about you. One of the things, of course, I do is I look at handwriting and I attempt to find what makes you tick.
Right.
And one of the reasons I asked you on the show is not because you're a celebrity in your own right on UFOs. That was like a bonus.
Right.
I looked at your handwriting and I was like, wow, this guy is either a mad genius
I like that.
or he's crazy.
Possibly both.
Possibly both. But there's nothing about your handwriting that's linear. Your mind is scattered left, scattered right. Are you a linear thinker or do you think you're more like chaotic?
Well, I have so many different thoughts, topics I'm thinking about, so I think you might say it's a bit chaotic.
Do you know your IQ?
Not certain.
It's got to
pretty
be.
high.
It's got to be in 3 digits.
Three
maybe 4.
digits. Well, yeah, even 100 is 3.
You got that joke, didn't you? You're good. You're good. Look at you laughing there. Now, let me ask you. You have, in my opinion, as far as psychology goes, an incredibly high self-esteem.
Thank you.
You have a sense that you deserve what you have, a good sense of boundaries. First of all, is that accurate? Do you have a high self-esteem?
Yes, I do.
Do you think you've always had a high self-image, or did you earn it?
I think that I earned it by my accomplishments, my endeavors.
Tell me about Franklin when he was 10 years old.
Well, when I was 10 years old, I'll tell you, it was interesting because